Good afternoon, folks. We're going to wrap up June the 10th a little bit early, get started a little bit early. I've got 3 videos to make, and I've got to leave here at 3 p.m., so I'm a little pressed for time. Okay, on a one-day basis, we've got a lower high in the E-mini and a lower low. So we can definitely sell failure to not take out 50 to 54. On a longer-term basis, we're dealing with a new distribution higher. We're dealing with a breakout from 25, and we've got near support at 40. So the market, when you look past the day, is still in a fairly strong uptrend. Rarely are tops put in like this. They usually come in like in 30 to 45 days later. They'll come back and they'll retest it. So longer term, you're still buying into weakness. If we fail to take out 50 to 54 in the overnight session, we can get short. What does it take to get new money to come into the market? A retest of support. So we had money added here. If we came back and retested the breakout right here at 25 and it held, and we started back higher, I'm sure we'd bring more money into the process. So when the breakout gets retested, that's when the second leg kicks in, and we'll see if that happens. Okay, we're dealing with a fairly strong P. Everything is matched, volume and time, and on a 3-day basis, and then today we've got a P with volume and time match. So again, if you are tasked to make a trade at the market, right now you got to be a buyer. You just can't get around it. The bias is to the upside, and you can make money from the short side of the market, and someday we will make money from the short side of the market, but it's probably not today. So you're still a buyer. So we've got resistance at 50. And we had a 49 to 51 sell. The high is 49. And we had a sell at 55 plus or minus. We're still there. I think we got a pretty good chance of making a new intraday high on the close today. On the buy side, we had hoped to buy 40s to 42s, but we had identified this single print. So if the market were to close right here, 43.45, would be buy 1, and buy 2 would be in the 40 area. Okay, taking a quick look at the E-mini, the note. Moving right along. Note's in a pretty hard sell right now. It was a 3-year auction. It was a great auction. It came in at 3.41 to coverage. Didn't really give us much of a lift. So the issue for us as players is 3-up auctions, like the last one, or up, down, up, and we won't know until tomorrow. So I still like the idea of getting long into the 10-year auction, but I'd like to do it a little cheaper. So when we look at this screen, without an auction, we are pointed lower, and we would have no qualms about getting short, just like we did this morning. We've got an attractor or volume at 11. Got a low volume number basically at 24. And the next attractor beneath that is in the 12 to 16 area. So I think we're headed a little lower. This chart says be a seller. I think we can get short one more time to see if we can't get down and test the 24 to 28 area. This morning we wanted to sell, failure to take out 4 to 8, and we had to buy 29 to 01. The low is 29.5. The high was in the day session was 4.5. So we had the direction correct. We had the level right. Didn't have much volatility, not much to work with. So Getting short, again, is going to be the same deal. So failure to take out 4 to 8. Then 11 to 15. Getting stops below 29.5. Let's play for a buy at 25 to 29. We'll try that to get started, and then 17 to 21. But, you know, it might take, depending on what goes on in the E-mini this afternoon, etc., and if the 29.5 holds up overnight, it might take this 24.01 to get into the market and get off along. I'm not afraid to buy, is my point, because even with the 10-year auction. So we had a good day of trading in the note once again. Worked out, didn't have a lot of volatility to work with. Sometimes that happens. Okay, the knob spread came in 3/30 seconds. Not a big deal, but it did come in nonetheless. Definitely dealing with several distributions lower coming out of the overnight session. $30-year is on Thursday, so again, you really can't come out and bludgeon or whack the market and expect to move the hardest paper there is to move, 30-year paper. So we definitely have a B today. Everything says find a spot to sell it. Don't have a problem with that. Here's that first little volume area to be taken care of, overcome at 135.01 or 02. So selling failure to take out last rotate up was 2. The 2 to 6 area is a reasonable trade. And we'll be buying 21s to 25s and 13 to 17. Okay, gold's kind of quiet. It can go either way. We're still dealing with a resistance starting at 60. And we have really, really good support down in the 45 to 50 area. Don't think things can get out of hand, but you never know. You know, it's funny. Collapses, surprise, banks fail overnight. And we always hear the story from the central banks, we've got everything under control, we can manage it. Well, this last debacle that it's still costing us trillions of dollars because of the government feels they can spend money on any and everything. But it started with Lehman, and Lehman wasn't a major banker compared to like Citi or J.P. Morgan or Goldman or the rest of it. So the financial meltdown started in September with Lehman. So right now you've got this China hypothecation for warehouse receipts for all sorts of letters of credits and then loans based on that. And that could get up 30 to 1 depending on the duration of the loans. So I'm not saying this is going to start the meltdown, but the meltdown or the event will come out of left field. It will not be expected. It's just like a trend day. It wasn't expected. You couldn't plan for it. It just happened. So this Chinese news could be part of it. Countering that was China's export numbers and Japan's export numbers for the last quarter. Better than anybody expected. So we've got a seller in this 60 to 65 area. So sell 1, 63, 65. Sell 2, 68 to 70. Got this real low volume number up here, and that's where the 68 comes from. On the buy side, we'll make it 55, 57. That's pretty aggressive. And then 50, 52. sovereign debt problems, major debt problems. I mean, we don't know what it's going to take, and like Nancy says, the black swan. Talib's first book, I like the one better than the black swan, but the one that came before that, I forget the name of it. The options player John is the one you want to model yourself after. I thought it was really a good book that just really covered the basics of trading and what you had to do to be successful long term. Don't want to be the latest, hottest rocket to come out of Wall Street. They don't last very long. Okay, the euro I think is headed lower. I like the sell side of the market, but markets don't go straight down. So we have, I think, retesting this low is what we've been pointed to since last week. And it's within reach. So I'd want to get short, and we're at 47, so stops above 50 will make 50 to 60 sell one, and then 75 to 85 sell two. And I think we're going to play for 35 plus or minus for buy one, but I'm getting stops below 35. And then if they don't immediately generate follow-through selling, we should expect short covering, and then we'll make it 65 to 75 for buy two. And you can see that in 6 months we have not been in this territory, so we're knocking on the door of support. Now, if the market is stronger than I think it is, we're not going to make 135. We may have seen the lows today, so that's what we have to watch for and plan for and be prepared to act when we get there. Got to think this stuff out before. You can't do it when you get there. And that's the difference between a good seasoned professional trader and a novice or an intermediate. They react to everything. And a lot of that's the conditioning that you've been exposed to. You know, you can't know anything, can't know everything, can't know it all. Just when this one event happens, then you do that. And then that's the appeal of technical analysis, that when this value is hit or these two lines cross or whatever, you take the trade, and you don't have to know all this stuff. And that's based on the random walk theory, that everything that is needed to be known is included in the price at that one moment in time. We know that's not true. There are people out there that have vastly superior knowledge that know how to play things for the next day, the next week, the next month, and for the next year, which means that not all the knowledge is out there. So here we are at 104.50, so we'll make 475 in crude to 105 the sell. I still see a 105 plus market, and we'll make 525.50. And then we'll make 104 plus or minus buy one, and then 350, 375. I put an article up on our website, and I may have put it in the room. Yeah, I'll be posting the aftermarket videos, the AM and PM stuff. I put the channel links up there. Do you have those, Nancy? They're also on the website. Oh, the little ones. They're posted every day. I don't know where they are on the website, but I'll put the link up. Anyway, let me shut down this recording.